I'm just dumb. I'm a little retarded. Welcome back to another episode of Body Language Podcast. This is episode 34. This is my second take. First time I pulled the anchor out. I apologize. Apologies. I got my beautiful wife here, Jessica Morge, and my dumbass dog at my feet, Eleanor. She's cute, yeah. Trying to bite my feet. I can't believe I did that. Like right in the middle of the intro.
Rookie moved, so.
Yeah, I know. Episode 34. Anyway, it's a special. It's a special podcast. First podcast we've done together since we've moved into the new house.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and this is the second. It's the fourth podcast in the new house. First podcast with you. Second softcast. So there's 3 news on this podcast.
New.
Well, 2 of them are new. The other one is, okay, 2 of the things are new, but the other one is like the second time, so it's still sort of new.
Yeah. She know her dog is an idiot. She's so funny, but she's an idiot. Getting a puppy was weird. Getting a puppy was like, I don't want to say like having a baby.
That was weird. That was a weird day.
Well, but it's not like having a baby, but it's like It's like
having a baby a little bit.
No, it's kind of like getting someone else's baby. Like we rescued her, so it's like her life, and then getting the whole backstory on her life. Like she was a trash puppy. Like someone threw her in a trash pile at the end of a dirt road with her mom, her, and her sister, and she was like the size of a hamster. And then
wish we could have got her sister too.
Well, yeah, but then we
pretty girl, scratches.
But then we found out that not only that happened to her, but then she was put into foster care, and then someone adopted her, and then after they adopted her, they had to surrender her. So she's already been through, like, we're talking 3 homes, then another foster, so 4. And so when we got Ellie, it was really just like, I sent Tyler a picture of like 6 dogs because I really wanted a dog.
Yeah, and I picked out Ellie.
He picked out Ellie, but at the same time, it was like, to me, getting a puppy was disastrous. I did not want a puppy because I didn't want to deal with the potty training. I didn't want to deal with the poops in the house and like the things. I wanted a dog. I wanted like a full-grown dog, and she, out of all of them, was his absolute favorite. Like, he did not, all the cute fluffy dogs I sent, like dogs, it was Ellie always. And so whenever all the other dogs, I don't want to say this out loud, but all the other dogs were like the adopted, they just didn't post it, they didn't have time or whatever. And then when it came down to Ellie being like, I don't want to say she was the last one, but she was like the 3rd one that
I don't know why she was one of the last
She was
ones.
the 3rd
She was
one.
gorgeous.
Well, because you wouldn't.
She still is gorgeous.
No,
but
because
she was
okay.
specifically gorgeous.
Everyone just listen. Tyler didn't want to talk about it. He was like, if you want a dog, we'll get a dog. But I don't, like, Jessica, I don't want a dog. And now that we have a dog, like, I will just say he's literally obsessed with this dog. Like, as much as she pisses him off, he is obsessed with the dog. If you don't recognize it, just check my Instagram. They are like BFFs, FFFs forever. Like,
I do. I love the dog.
he loves the dog.
Y'all, I love the dog.
He doesn't like to admit it whenever she's being a shit.
Oh,
but
look at her now. Look at her.
she's just
rolling over on my foot.
I wish you guys
I'm a
could
piece
see.
of like cat shit. Like how she was rolling a dead bird.
Or on a dead worm.
Yeah.
She found a dead worm. No one cares. But
yeah.
she found a dead worm the other day.
Found a dead worm the other day, guys.
I rolled on it.
Update. She lost a tooth.
she lost a tooth. No, but she's just like, every time I look at her, I'm like, how could someone discard such a beautiful animal that brings... Well, no, but it's not even that. It's just like she brings our family so much joy.
She does. We talked about that the other day.
So now when I see like every animal that's in the pound or like Baldwin County Humane Society or like all of these places...
There's a chance.
No, I'm just like, someone...
You could be such a great dog.
I just share the shit out of it. I'm like, someone please adopt this. Like, please adopt this dog. Like, look at her right now. Her lips are stuck to her mouth.
Come here, dog.
She's just...
Hey, by the way, side note, I still have almost no hearing in my left ear. It's gone back to like 50,
That's
40, 50, 60%.
It's like a toe lost his hearing the other day. Like, almost all the way.
Yeah. I said something about it in the vlog a if you guys keep up with our vlogs, I woke up and I guess I had like a bunch of sinus drainage in my left ear, and I couldn't hear anything in my left ear. As the days progressed, like I got more and more hearing back as the days went on, and here recently it's gone back to, it's like registered back to 0 again, and then gone back up and then registered back down, and now I've got almost no hearing again in my left ear. Side note, unside note, our dog, yes, is amazing. Is your Alto dead again?
The new one.
You didn't charge it before the cast?
It was fully charged today.
Good grief.
So it said.
You want to go get your charger?
Kind of.
You can.
I'm gonna get it.
It's all good. Go ahead. I thought that was great. You saw that little hop?
Yeah.
And we're back. Okay. You look so beautiful. I mean, you look beautiful every night and every day, but the last 3 or 4 weeks, you have just every day when you curl your hair and you center part, you are just so fucking saucy.
Stop it.
You are like a young Kate Beckinsale meets a Megan Fox meets a, I don't know, some sort of Russian model. I don't know. You're beautiful.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you.
Ow,
Eleanor.
I
Ow.
can't look like Megan Fox though. That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't say you look like I said you had a dash of her.
Just a splish.
Yeah, look at the teeth.
I know.
You see those teeth?
It's just stuck to her lips. Just. I brought you one of these.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Preach.
Don't say what it is because they don't pay us. Yet.
I was about to say. This is.
Get it, girl. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Dude, she bites down on my foot whenever I do that. Okay, so yeah, like I said in the previous podcast, and by the way, this last podcast is officially. I saw the analytics for December. I saw that. I saw you spill that, by the way. This podcast, episode 33, one of my favorite numbers in the world, was the slowest growing podcast that we've ever had, which is not a big deal because we have a little bit less than 100 subscribers over the last year, which isn't bad.
No.
In my opinion, because I've promoted it like once a month, every month. So it's 12 promotions over the last year. So anyway, I digress. It's the slowest growing podcast that we've ever had. So I was really excited to get this audio podcast out, even though all of our audio podcasts minus Ian's, and not only Ian's, but Ian's is our most listened to podcast, by the way. But it's also an audio cast.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to shoot this with you because we always do. This is our, 5th podcast together?
I think something like that.
Or 6th? Less than 10, more than 5.
Oh, definitely less than 10. I want to say probably 6. I would say. Because I've been in podcasts with...
Okay, Friends Fest. 2 previous to that. An audio cast.
With Nick and Kuzma.
One with Nick and Kuzma.
Yeah.
And then this one. So that's right, it's 6.
Yeah.
So episode 34. Yeah, it's your 6th episode.
Yeah.
Which should be like your 16th or 17th episode.
I know, it's so rude that I'm...
But now that we're in this house and we're a little bit more comfortable with where we're at and our surroundings.
And Olive's bigger.
And not so needy, we're going to start casting a little bit more together.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? I think that would be good.
Yeah.
If you hear any ruckus in the background, it's our dog attacking our feet up under the sheets.
She finds it hilarious. And
she chews on our toes.
And if anyone yelps, it's just us.
Yeah,
so don't worry.
I don't know what the sound in the background is going to be like. I assume that it's going to be okay because these mics are close quarters. And they're singular mics, so I don't think they're going to pick up any other bullshit in the background. Yeah, if you just heard what you just heard in the background, that's just our dog. like biting and like playing around.
It's not me and Tyler.
Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah,
type of podcast.
yeah, we're just chilling in our bed drinking some beverages.
That's where
with
we're
our
sitting.
The babies are asleep. Olive's asleep. Rowan's asleep.
We're not.
Harlan is asleep.
In Olive's closet.
In Olive's closet. And yeah, dude. Harlan just sits in this underwear box that Olive's got in her closet.
He hides from the dog.
Yeah,
that's
but it's nice and shady. Did you see that?
Yes.
She's just acting a fool, dude.
They can't see her.
But
So.
this dog is wide awake. It's like 8 a.m. to this dog right now.
It's because she
8
sleeps all
p.m.
day.
to it's really like 10. It's actually 9:15 right now. What the hell? This dog is psycho. Did you give her some dog nip?
No. Let's talk about. Let's talk about life. What do you have to say?
See, I told you last time you did that with Nick and Kuzma not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There's no reason to do that. We're just talking. Like, we'll bring up music and world events as they come up. You don't have to talk about life.
We could talk about the dog for the next hour because it's me.
We're not. We've only been on for 11 minutes. Take it freaking easy. Oh, you see me sweep her legs? That was great. Oh, I was talking to my grandmother a little bit ago, probably about an hour and a half ago. We were talking about like passions and things like that, and like things that we like genuinely love, that we get paid for, don't get paid for, like hobbies, jobs, whatever. And I convinced her to do a podcast episode. So I've already spoke to Jessica about this, but my grandmother, who is 74 years old, is going to be on the podcast. She's everybody's got a family member that they connect themselves with in some sort of way, like at the hip, accidentally.
Yeah.
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
Was your grandpa and
my
my Uncle Rip, and mine was my grandfather and my grandmother. And but anyway, I don't let her watch the podcast. I don't,
She's not allowed to watch.
Our podcasts are visual podcasts. We have a few episodes on Anchor, and we don't have any on Spotify, none on iTunes or anything like that. We're mainly a visual podcast for now. And like I say, every other episode in the next year or so, I'll get all of our episodes on Anchor, and we'll have like a visual and an audio. But anyway, I wanted to get her on the podcast, so I got her agreeance with sitting across the kitchen table with masks, and also offering an audio version. Eleanor, relax, you crazy bean. So that's going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it'd be great if you were there for that episode.
Mimi has so much to
We have
tell.
4 mics available, so you should take one of those up.
It'd be cool to do one with my grandpa. I don't know if he'd be into it, but
that's one of those things that you'd have to do. I've seen recently a lot of podcasts, like punk rock podcasts, like recently specifically the My Carrera podcast from MXPX. He did one with Yuri in an airport where they had like a little small, like 20-inch cylinder table, and he put his iPhone in the middle. And like when he got it home, he put it on his computer and pulled like the bass way down and kind of turned up the treble and equalized it a little bit. And it sounded pretty good. So what you should do is just clip a mic to him, and then just sit there and talk to him.
I think that would be great.
Shit.
That would be so great. My grandfather, like, not to take away from the podcast from Mimi, because that's what
grandparents. It's just about Mimi.
Like, my grandfather is the greatest storyteller of all time, because he's
funny too.
He finds humor in everything. Like, he literally will make me roll laughing. Like, when he gets to send me a text that's like a story, like a satire about anything that's happening in his life, even if it's like putting bricks in a wall that got knocked down, like when they had a lot of rain, or just anything. It's like, my grandmother wants him to do stuff. It's like she's a slave driver and he's having to do stuff, and like just the way he tells stories is just like when both the dogs were alive. One of them passed away. Rest in peace,
Pepper.
Mr. Pepper. But when he was alive, it was like he would always make up these stories about like him and Zeke and just like the things they did every day. Like being retired has really, and now like all his health issues and stuff, it's like he doesn't have anything else to do. So what he does is like he has this imagination that is, he's always read. And so when I met your Mimi, that's what really connected me to Mimi too. It's like my grandfather has always encouraged me to read. He's always wanted me to read, and he's always like, your imagination is your best friend. It's always gonna.
When you said that, I thought you meant read, as in like he's always been read. Like.
Well, I mean, he made me read a few times as a teenager.
I'm blind, I'm a dumbass.
But
anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
But he always encouraged, like he would take me to the library during summer, and I'd be like 12, and he'd be like, get on the summer reading program, we're gonna read, and I'd be like, I don't want to do this. But that's why him and Mimi are like, they're both such similar like pillar parts of my life that it's like they're so important, because that type of imagination, that type of being able to spin any story to humor or like laughing, like look at all the things that happen every day. If you can't find a reason to be happy and all of that, if you can't find a reason to laugh or find it a funny way to spin that to yourself, like what is life then? Like you're just perceiving it. But if you can like perceive it and find some source of imagination that makes it somewhat funny, then it just becomes really exhausting. They figured it out.
I just think that your grandpa and my grandmother are a different level of patient than most other people, which brings the education that they've acquired over the years a little bit more brighter, see-through, diamond-like white, and just clear, more in abundance, if you will, simply because they haven't mudded their mind with other bullshit, even through your grandpa's drinking spell. I think him completely attaching himself with the fact that education is the most important thing in life, still to this day, 70 some odd years later, with my grandmother thinking somewhat the same thing. I think that type of mindset, that particular type of mindset, is a superior mindset, to be honest. So that's probably why that, you know, you and I look at these two individuals in such strong manners, because it's not just about like how funny they are, how sweet they are, how good they cook. It's about how fucking for real smart they are.
Yeah.
And the type of little knowledge nuggets they drop around and drop off pretty regularly to us, just subsequently and subconsciously, just by accident. You know?
It's funny, like with both of them, sometimes we have conversations about books, because like they both know that I love books, but I think that it's a lost art. You know, when you read a book and you get like a moral sort of oversight of the whole thing, and you're like, okay, well, if I step way, way back, this is why this happened, and this is the moral of the story. I think that if more people looked at life like that, then there would be a lot less bad people. And I think that people like your grandmother and my grandfather have this sight of people that it's very step way, way back, and let's just see, like, what are they doing? And that is so rare. Like, people don't see life like that anymore. People just see life as it's happening, and it's happening, and it's happening. But they never choose to, like, okay, well, let's just step way, way back, and let's just see, like, what's the moral of this story? Like, oh, it's really sad. Like, this person is doing this over and over again. It's hurting them. Or this person is, you know, like, they're hopeless romantic. Or this person, but they have this ability to see, like, people as just a story that they are, because every person has their own story. So like when I get into these deep conversations with your Mimi and with my grandfather, it's like it becomes more than just talking. It becomes like they're actually teaching me things that I need to know, like as a person.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be that way. That's how I feel when I hang out with my Uncle Mike.
Yeah. Oh, the things that he used to do.
I'm not rude.
You are.
I don't even know where my fucking mic is.
You don't even know
Get it?
what just happened.
You even know how to direct your own fucking podcast, bitch.
I did
Fuck
not.
you, Tyler.
I did not sound like
Taylor.
that. You're.
Fucking. Shit, where's my jewel? Fucking Taylor. Alright, so that was.
Right there.
I got it, maybe. There's my fucking.
Okay.
So that was the sweetest interaction with my daughter I've had in quite a while.
Oh.
She wasn't crying, but she was in there. She coughed, and I went there. I said, "Beans, are you okay?" She said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "Nothing. I'm just sad." I said, "Why?" She goes, "I'm just kidding."
Oh my
And I
God.
said, "Okay." And I said, "All right, well, look, go ahead and go to bed." I said, "Because as soon as you go to bed, we'll wake up, we'll take the dog out, and we'll play, and then we'll go get breakfast like we did today, and we'll go get biscuit, and we'll hang out and watch the iPad, watch Disney vlogs, and then," she goes, "and then we'll sing Let It Go." I said, "Yes, shh." And I said, "But I just wanted to come in here and tell you that I think that you're the most beautiful princess, the most beautiful girl in the entire world. I just wanted to let you know that I thought that." And she was like, "Thank you." And I said, "For real, I think you're like, not only are you my best friend, but you're amazing. I think you're a super smart girl, and I'm so proud of you." And she was like, "Oh," like you just saw her whole face
Like,
just light up. She was just like, "Oh," and I was like, "All right, but look, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to bed." And she was like, "Okay, yes sir, yes sir." And then she turned over and went right to bed.
I would literally love to have a moment like that with Olive, but every time I go in a room, she just wants me to lay on the floor until she goes to sleep.
Okay, well, you have a connection with her that's like totally different than the connection
No, I
that
love
I have
that.
with
That's
her.
what I'm saying. I
Like,
wish
I'm
I
like,
could have that magic where it's like.
It's not no, it's definitely magic, that's for sure. But it's not. You have a different one. Like you have a connected, like tactile spirit.
She's gonna want to touch my body, my hand, my arm
With
until
me,
she
it's more
falls
like
asleep.
I gotta talk her through it. So it's like, you know what I mean. I have to make. You want to get out of here? I gotta make sure that. Will you stop it?
Eleanor, you are so rude.
You're rude, you little sauce pot. Trying to get over here.
I was trying to-
Come on, to where you get out of here.
They can't see anything.
Kids are asleep. Oh my God. Okay.
Eleanor,
I show a
so
little.
rude.
I show a little skin, and Jessica starts tripping.
Where's Eleanor?
But yeah, I don't know. You're right. It is fireworks and it is beautiful, but I just really would. It's not fair. And you're right. I think we both wish that we had each other's role sometimes.
Yeah, just to see the other side of it, because with me, it's like.
Well, it's such a heavy dynamic. It's like with Rowan, we had an equal power. We could both get in his ass and be like, "Yo, no sir," and he'd be like, "Yes sir, yes ma'am, sorry." I would be like, "Oh, good job," and he would register that and be like, "Okay, next time I'm gonna do that again because that was a good job." And
Yeah.
with Olive, it's more like there's rebelliousness, there's
Oh,
resiliency,
it's 100%
there's bitchiness, and there's like she's so me and Rowan is so you.
Oh my God, Olive has 50 shades of everything.
Although I was a way better baby than you were, according to your mother.
I might have been a terrible baby, but I grew up to be a really good kid, so that's okay. I'll take that.
Look, let's just go ahead and get this in the ground right now. There's nothing terrible about you except for the fact that you can't apologize and you don't clean well. But
We're
aside
calling
from
up
that,
people on the carpet.
aside from that, there's no way you could be terrible at anything because you're just beautiful in all sorts of manners.
You are so rude. Tyler.
And so what?
Oh my God.
What? I just want to show you how good I look in these new David Dobrik shorts you got me. Thank you for that, by the way. Merry Christmas to me.
How's my sweatpants?
They're beautiful. I think Natalie put them off well, and you're a good second. Natalie looks great in them, and you look somewhat decent in them. I'm sorry. Did I say you were second? I meant to say that you look killer in them, and that Natalie is a good close second.
Get off.
Come here.
Natalie, I'm coming for you, bitch. You used to be my
by the
favorite.
way-
You used to be my favorite.
By the way, Jessica and I got new PJs. We got David Dobrik merchandise from Clickgate.
And I used to love Natalie.
Merch. I got some David's vlogs shorts, and then Jessica got the Clickbait marple
Sweatpants.
pink or orange, gray.
Natalie.
Yeah, the marple pants. Will you stop? I was just fucking around.
Yeah, well, now we got a problem.
Will you stop? I've never even met Natalie Noel, so just chill out. Psychopath.
Want to see a psychopath? I'm gonna call out Todd too. I'm gonna call him both.
How is Todd? Oh, that's right, because they date. All right, so look, here's my new thing. All right, so I decided today, when I was laying in here, I was writing in my book, and I was cleaning up in here. I cleaned up in Olive's room a little bit, and I was thinking, only one of those boxes I really use, so I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna throw away pretty much all that stuff, and I'm gonna get 4 pairs of shorts and 4 pairs of pants. I'm gonna get pants hangers. I'm gonna hang my pants and my shorts up, and then have I'm gonna get, these come in 4, so I'm gonna get 2 more sets, one for my shoes and one for my underwear and my socks and my beanies. And then that way I'll have only my hats over there, and then like an extra level of shoes and a half layer of like all my underwear and socks and shit. And I can get rid of the bags, which will relieve the weight off these hangers, which will make room for the pants that go up there. So it'll suck everything in a little bit and make everything a little tighter.
Nice.
Did you get into the weed?
No.
Nice. Nice.
It works. I was just looking at it. When you were saying
you always show me your closet when you reamp it, so I feel like my outside closet you would.
Oh my god, my
give a
closet
little
looks
bit of
like
a shit
shit right
about.
now. Today, literally, I sat at work and I was like, my closet needs something. I don't know. It's like the baskets at the bottom with the t-shirts and the pants and the, like, I want to
Is
just.
this the dog?
Yes, it's a dog. What else would it be?
Ellen's.
I have a huge tumor on my leg that just grew in the last 30 minutes.
Oh, did you hear that? What? I was just playing with her.
She's asleep.
All right, so look, me and Eleanor, if you follow the vlog on our other YouTube channel, or Jessica's Facebook or Instagram, or my Facebook or Instagram, you'll see that Ellie and I, we get in like bite battles, and we snarl at each other. And then so sometimes I'll snarl at her and like nibble on her ear a little bit, but not too hard, and she'll make some noise and I'll make a noise, and we're just like kind of sort of instantly fighting. And then now Jessica thinks that every time that happens, I'm hurting Eleanor, but really we're just like, I'm her dad, yes, but I'm more like her, like, okay, I'm more like her older brother that's like 18 when she's like 8 or 9.
What are you doing?
I'm getting this piece of cotton out of my toe from my sock. You want to see? Look. It's right there, you see it? This little black piece of cotton from my black sock. I was trying to get it out, sorry. Shit. Fucking make me fucking feel weird. Anyway, by the way, I played your guitar the other day and it sounded amazing. By the way, for real, not just because we're on the podcast, but like on a level 1 to 10, I haven't played guitar, haven't jammed out. I've written a little bit and I've picked a little bit and put some stuff in like a few different beats that I've made, but that's not like letting it all loose. That's not like letting your wang hang out. Level 1 to 10, the jam out session I had the other day, the 10-minute jam out session I had the other day.
Oh my god, it was so good. I'm so tired of talking about this.
No. You said that before, but now that we're on the podcast, I'm going to call you out about it, and I want to give you a chance to, for real, critique me on it. I know it was a little sloppy, but considering that you haven't heard that since...
It was a 7 out of 10.
Since June of our old house, and it is now December of our new house, same year, I was just kind of checking in on, like, making sure you think you still got down with the sickness.
It was a solid 7. It was a solid 7. It was great. I mean, I totally enjoyed myself.
I'll take a solid 7. I only take a solid 7 because throughout the years I know you've heard me at a 10.
Yes. You're all like...
So I'll accept that.
Talking about how it was bad. It's like, no, it wasn't bad.
I didn't say it was bad. It just wasn't, like, great.
I burped. That was gross. No. I mean, but you didn't... you didn't miss a beat. You didn't skip a beat. There was no time... Like, there was no hiccups in the solid sound of what it was. First off, that will give you a 5. But
if you could give me a pointer on it being a new guitar player to an old guitar player.
Yes, you're asking.
What would you give me a pointer on?
Nothing.
No. That's not fair.
No,
that's,
I can't.
That's not true. But no. I'm just saying, being a new guitar player, you've played for about a year and a half now, and your chops are pretty decent.
Yeah.
I give you like a light 4 out of 5.
As a newbie, I'd give you a 9. I'm just giving you a 7.
I'm just saying, if you could give me,
I can't.
Any pointers, or if you like, just off the surface, off the cuff, on the top, kind of like whipped cream style top advice from what you heard, be like, just from like a spectator, what do you think that I could have done better off that jam session?
What you could have done better is not said a million times after that wasn't your best.
Well, I said that to you because you're my wife.
Yes, but I would have
but
that's what I'm saying. You would have got a 10 out of 10 to me because there's no...
Well, I would rather get the judgment that I got from you now because...
The technical ability...
You've heard me at a 10
No,
out
just
of
be
10.
quiet. The technical ability that I heard in that is already surpassed what I know. So I was trying to learn stuff when you were like, this is like, that was not my best work.
But I'm just saying,
like,
compared to like shows you see,
Tyler,
and with the knowledge that I've been on tour and I've played shows before, like string orientated, DJ orientated, like wax orientated, like there's multiple genres of shows that I've played. And in comparison to that, and then them being good to continue and to carry me to another show, that knowledge, and then to hear me after all that, it's just almost just like, oh, but that's subpar. How did this motherfucker make a living off this for a while?
But you're the only person who saw that.
That's why. Look, you're taking this as me attacking you. I'm only asking. Look. This is butter and bread here, baby. We're just talking.
I know.
No one's attacking you. No one's.
But that's what I'm
putting you on
saying.
the spot.
There's nothing I can say. Like I don't have anything. Like there's no. I would give it a 10.
Okay. All right.
But I know you're not looking for a 10.
I'm
you're
not looking for a 10. You're looking for a 7.
I
thought that you had played for Look, out of this entire quiver of guitars in this room, your son owns one. We own a group guitar. You have one, and I have 2. So.
The only thing that I could...
I value your opinion.
The only thing I can take from all of this is that...
And we've written 4 songs together.
But your satisfaction...
4 fucking songs together.
All of this comes down to your satisfaction with your own playing. Was not satisfactory.
Right. And you're a reflection of me as I am a reflection of you, so I care about your opinion.
But it was great to me. It was a great time.
That's a rap lyric.
Oh my Lord.
Listen, listen. I care about the reflection of me in you as I care about the reflection of you and me. That's what I care. No, I got it backwards. Okay. I care about the reflection of me within you, and I care about your reflection for you within me. I'm sorry, boo. Alright, the way I said it. Whatever. Fuck you. Okay? It went well like an R&B track. If I would have written that down the way that I thought it would have gone well.
It would have gone.
Oh, by the way, I stopped by Papa's. Today.
Papa's what?
Papa Murphy's.
What?
And I paid for your mom's pizza. My mom's pizza.
Tomorrow? Oh, you're so sweet.
I paid for both.
Are they going to remember?
Hey, Yeah, no, I already paid for
Oh
it.
my
No,
God.
it was the owner's son. He was
Okay,
there.
good. They're like the most short-brained people. I love them. They
Don't
take care of
say
us
that.
every Friday.
No, the guy with the ring finger, the black ring finger.
What kind of mask did he have on? Was it an X?
It's a big X.
Okay.
He's the
He's
cool
the
guy.
memory of a bird.
He
He's the guy
listens
that
to this podcast. Be careful.
I love him.
I love him.
I do. I love it.
His parents own it.
He's sweet every time I go in there, but it's him and the other guy that always seemed overwhelmed. Like literally, and I know what it's like to have.
It's him and his friends.
But I know what it's like to have a bajillion customers, and everyone's like, "You don't remember me?" And they're like, "No, bitch, I don't remember you."
No. This is how much he did remember me. I look at him and I said the name. I said the name is. Put it under. He goes, Tiffany. I know.
There you go.
Tiffany is my mother, by the way. My mother always pays for our pizza every Friday. She turned us on to this place called Papa Murphy's. I'm sure most of my audience knows this, but I was late to the game. It's a pizza place that puts together your pizza for you to cook it at your home. And my mother has been getting us this half jalapeno, half thin crust pepperoni. And on the jalapeno side, you drizzle a little bit of hot sauce and honey, and it's supposed to just be fire. And
it's
I was like, oh my, this sounds like bullshit. I tried it. It's amazing. My mom was right. 6 months later, here we are.
Look at that, moms are right.
And
it's incredible.
I don't know. I stopped by today and paid for my mom's pizza for tomorrow because today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and so I went ahead and paid for our pizza and her pizza because I'm a good fucking son, y'all.
Yeah. No, and it's good. Like, we try to get her sometimes. Like, we'll sneak in and try to, like, get her. But then something, like, she'll go early or something will happen.
God damn it.
She'll show
That's
up.
how it always happens.
Like, she'll leave work. Like, we plan it so strategically, too. Like, I'll text Tyler and be like, your mom left work. And then something will happen. He'll be outside with Olive or something will be happening.
I can't get up there.
Or he can't get up there. Like, just something. Or even, like, if we call, they put us on hold for, like, 45 minutes, which sometimes happens because they have so many phone calls. So, like, there's a lot of... So, this is only, like, the third time we've gotten to do this to her. Fourth time we've gotten to do this to her.
I have one more and it's free.
She always comes into work that next Monday and she's like, I'm mad at you. I'm like, why? And she's like,
pay for my pizza.
You paid for my pizza. And
my mom loves to do nice things for other people, but she hates having nice things done.
She doesn't know how to handle it. So, like, I don't think she knows how to bounce from, like I brought her a t-shirt that we got me and Tyler bought this t-shirt at H&M that I just, like, I loved it, but then I didn't love it. Like, I picked around it. I wore it to work and she said something about it one time.
The Easy shirt?
No, my Calabasas shirt. Yeah.
It's the Easy shirt.
Yeah. And then, so, like, she said something about it, so I brought it that next Friday, and I said, Happy Friday. She has, like, the Happy Friday note in her drawer. Like, she's as sentimental as me. Every time she draws me a picture, like, anytime... Sentimental? Anytime she does, like, she'll draw me pictures on things I give her. Like, I have a whole drawer full of things that I love his mother. That is literal my best friend. It is so funny. Like, it makes him so uncomfortable, but his mom is my best friend. Like, anything she gives me, anything, like, she does, it's like, we laugh, like, we have the best time. I work with his mom also.
My mom, Tyler.
Yeah. I said I work with his mom, not my mom. I work with his mother. So every day, we spend 8 hours a day together. So it's like, over the course of, like, working together, we already were, like, really close because I've been his wife for, at that point, like, 5 years. But we've been working together for, like, another 5 years.
6 years.
6 years. So we've been working together for, like,
You've been there for 4.5 years. We've been together for 10, almost 11.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I was just adding into your story. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but throughout the time, like, that we've got to spend every day together, she really is, like, she is the peanut butter to my jelly every day. Like, she's the person where if I need some sugar sprinkled on my salt, I walk in her office and I just tell her whatever just happened that's made me upset. And, like, we just, like, whatever customers got under my ass, whatever, like, she always has a moment of, like, Jessica, do not let anyone steal your joy. that is your joy, and you do not let anyone take it. And like, she just always has something to say. But at the same time, we laugh about farts and poop, and it's like, we talk about balls, like, we just laugh. Like, we have his mother and I, so that's like a total, so then I tell myself, I'm like, I have to cut this friendship in half. I have to come home and be like, that was not your mom that told me that. Like, that was not your mom that told me about this crazy time or that crazy time. Like, that was my best friend that told me that. So then there's this whole total like 6 degrees of separation that happens sometimes with like Tyler's mom and me. And then when he does the whole, well, you're acting just like my mother, I'm like, that's not even funny anymore. Like, it's like, I'm not. It's just like, we're best friends because we kind of were already alike. Now that I'm getting older, I've changed. Like, I have
it was
changed.
hard to see that. It was hard to see that at the beginning when I met you, because you were so. I mean, not that I'm as rock and roll as I was, because we both dialed down our rock and roll and punk rock a little bit, but I never saw you in any comparison to my mother until we moved down here around the 3rd year that we were together.
I feel like your mother...
2nd year we were together.
Well, I feel like me being best friends with your mother, it was a slow process, and then at the same time, she got way more cool. Like, she was way momish at the beginning, and now she's like... She's a totally...
Become a best friend and a family member, not just like your second mother. Yeah.
But she's also become way more punk rock herself. Like, she has a tattoo.
Very true.
Like,
Very true.
She has a tattoo. Like, she's changed. She shifted into this person that, like, she has an unfuckwithable personality now. Like, she does not let people fuck with her at all.
You both
like,
bounced off each other.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like, she does not let anyone else's, like, wherever you're at, no matter how mad you are, it's not gonna fuck with me. Like, this is my piece, and I have this. And that's what she tells me every day. She's like, don't let these people call you and upset you because they're mad about some shit that doesn't have nothing to do with you. Like, why would you let that make you... Are you, like...
Do you feel comfortable now, after 10 years being in this family? I've never asked you this ever, and I've always thought it. I've never asked you this.
Oh, God, I have to pee. This parachute is a knapsack.
This parachute is a knapsack. Dear God.
I really do have to pee, though.
Before you... All right, look, we're going to wrap this podcast up. But before we go, one last question.
Okay.
On segue to that. Being a part of a family, coming from like your Aunt Jennifer and your granny, being the two big matriarchs of one of each wing of your side of my life, of your family. Do you feel any pressure following my mother's footsteps, being able to work with her every day for such a long period of time, getting to know her in such a manner where my mother did not get to know my grandmother in a way to be the matriarch that trains you the way that you got to know my mother? Because at like 27, my mother moved us down here to the coast.
Yeah.
And my mom and my grandmother didn't get the connection that you have with my mother. So do you feel any... My question is, to bring that back around, do you feel any pressure having to fill those shoes with my sister and being a matriarch of a family on one side that, if I may speak freely, is very somewhat sort of in a weird culturist fashion put together, versus having to be the matriarch of a family that has twice the amount of people and twice the amount of responsibilities on your side? What's the comparison? And you know, long story short, what's the comparison, if you can? What's the comparison of pressure?
Well, my family's a shit show.
That you feel
I don't feel any pressure.
Or do you? Yeah. I was
Like
about to
your
say, or even do you?
well, no, my family, I feel lots of pressure because I know that when my grandfather passes, I will have to be the person in control. I will have to be 100% the person that handles everything. And like that terrifies me. Your family does not. Like even your sister, it's like very small things, but it's like now that she's an adult and we've been adults, but now that she's entered the realm of adulthood and like she's in grad school and like I'm helping her with her grad school even like capstone stuff, like even if it's not though, even if it's just a paper, like whatever, she's like, Jessica, I want to bounce these ideas off of you. Like to me that's very important. Like she comes to me and then
you have knowledge to give.
But then when we leave the situation, she's like, Jessica.
And also, by the way, earlier, just a second ago, when you said, my family is going to take charge whenever it's time for us to be present in your life when it's needed
obviously.
For you to okay.
Okay. Like you and your mom, and
my sister, and my grandmother,
I was about to say,
my aunts,
but not to write off Mimi and everyone else, but like you and your mom
Mark
will literally have to hold me up.
And Mark.
But I don't want to talk about that. But your sister just coming to me as an adult.
I meant as far as like physical things.
Like, I thought you meant like
time off.
I thought you meant like
no, well that's my duty.
I thought you meant
what
physically.
You're
like
is my duty. That's my duty, and I'm going to be present for that as I am for any other moment
obvious.
in your life that you need me.
Well, I just meant as the best friend role. She'll also be there.
Well, yes, but I meant as far as like taking time off and having to coagulate and orchestrate all of your affairs with your.
Also, I would like to add, it's not just because I work for his parents; it's because they would do that anyway. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, they would. I mean, they have treated everybody that has worked in Jessica's position prior to her with the utmost respect and fairness that they give Jessica. But it's also, there is a little bit of leeway, I think, with you, because after a decade of marriage and love and sharing holidays and getting close with immediate family and step family, like
it's also a lot of
like you have the I would fair to say the 32 years of connection that I have. You've built the same or more with some of these people.
Well, it's like me
in just the 10 years.
Well, it's like me and your mom talk about. It's like I run that office without running that office. It's like the other day, it's like when Mark's not there, it's my job. So other than work, yes. I don't feel pressure because it's like I feel like working so closely with your mom and just like not even working with her, just being with her every day and like the small lessons that she teaches me when I have any kind of hardship, whether it's a customer or just anything that upsets me. It's like she knows her biggest thing is always just plant the seed and walk away. And that's like, sometimes she'll say something that seems so small, but I'll walk in 3 days later and I'll be like, okay, I get why you said this and I need to talk about it. And she'll be like, okay, you want to talk about it? But it's like, so the whole matriarch of the family thing, it doesn't scare me on yours. I think it scares me more on my side, but I think that that's the beautiful part of life is that, your family is teaching me things that will help me in the chaos and total destruction of like reconstruction of my family. It's like even with my sister, it's taught me to like the patience and the like absolute like you like no doubt of I am right, this is right. Like I know that what I'm saying to you is the truth and you can either take it or you cannot. But having that solid foundation of Mimi and your mom and your sister and just having that solid family like ground. I am grounded. I have you. I have your mom. Like I have everyone. I have Mark, who's become like a dad too. So it's like I have like this whole solid foundation. I can then hold that family down. And that's kind of what it's become. Like, when they call or that they need me to mediate or they need me to do something, I can be grounded because I'm not just flailing. Like I'm not just loosely flapping around and like, okay, like, I'm gonna
have direction and focus.
I don't get caught up in the shit Like, I don't get caught up, and that sounds really bad, but I don't get caught up in the drama of whatever is happening. I'm like, okay, I see what's happening. I see all sides because all of you have called me. But what I can tell you is that from a very stable point, this is how all of this looks. And you are wrong. And my grandfather's always right. And there's my answer. So
what's amazing about your personality is that somebody can say, well, I think that's fucking wrong. Like, I don't think you're right. I think I'm right. And you can say, well, that's okay. But I think that's the journey that you're on right now, is that you're learning to say that it's, well, that's okay. That's fine.
it is okay.
But either way, I'm here and I support you, and if you go down, you're not alone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm that's, which is centrifugally how you were when I met you. It seems like you had to go through a little bit of a horseshoe.
Went through like a lot of, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I do feel like
But you've also seen me in a different shape of horseshoe, a fucked up horseshoe, if you will, of emotion too, so.
I wouldn't say fucked up, just not perfectly shaped, but.
Yeah.
But I went through a lot. I've gone through a lot, and I feel like the period between 24 and 29 have like literally reshaped me as a person. I think that
I feel like 28 to 32 has, so I feel you on that.
It has been a period. I feel like everyone has that period of growth, though, or they don't grow, or they just stay in that same mentality, but they get older, and then that's the worst type of person that would like literally stays in that very small. Like, you have to go through all those emotions. You have to go through like that period of growth that's very uncomfortable. It hurts, and everything is like you're heartbroken. Like, it's just so many things like that you have to go through that in order to become an adult. Like, period. Point blank. And I don't say adult as like humans. I say like adult as like you get to the point to where you are able to disconnect yourself from situations and be like, this situation clearly doesn't have anything to do with me. Like, to me, that is where like the point of growth comes from. It's like, if I look at a situation and I see that someone is clearly going through some shit that doesn't have anything to do with me, they're lashing out at me, I'm like, okay. I keep going back to customers, but that's where I talk to 200 people a day. And probably 50 of them are totally nasty to me. But then when I say, like, I'm so sorry that happened, like, is there anything I can do? It always, like, it starts to spill over. It spills out. It's like, my husband is on me about this, or, like, insurance companies are, like, it's always some external pressure that's making them be ugly. And I'm just like, okay, what you're going through, I know it's terrible, but it has nothing to do with me. And then they start talking about their mom, or they start talking about their family, or they just, like, ooze all of this. I'll stay on the phone for 30 minutes sometimes of people just oozing all of this, and like, I'm just this random person on the phone to them. Like, they've never seen me, they don't know me, and I'm just like, okay, like, there really is this true thing to like other people's perspectives. Everyone's seeing it from their own story, and like, you really truly don't know what's happening to them. Like, you really truly, like, some guy flips you off or something happens and you're like, oh wow, that person really hated me. And it's like, really, they didn't hate you. They really, truly, you have no people. Tyler's seen it. We go to Walmart sometimes and the girl behind the counter will start telling me about her boyfriend broke up with her. And I'm like, you've seen it. Have you not? Like,
you've always told me that people feel like they need to spill their problems out to you.
They need to tell me. And I'm like, okay. Like, it's gonna be alright. Like, but that's the whole point of the story, is even when I'm having a bad day, and I'll call Tyler and I'll be like, this bitch, she literally just crossed the line. And he's like, Jessica, just calm down. I'm like, no, I got her number and I got her address. And I'm about to call her back. I'm about to tell her to come outside. And he's like, Jessica, honestly. But that's why his mom is also so important, because she's like, Jessica, don't let anyone steal your joy. She ain't mad at you. She's not mad at you. Like, at the end of the day, people aren't mad at you, they're just mad.
Yeah, that's true. You can't fix people's problems just off the phone, being a successful glass business secretary.
All I did was answer the phone. What you mad about?
Yeah, what you mad about? Alright, well, I think it's about time we close this podcast out and get on with our night.
Oh, okie dokie.
If you're okay with that. Yeah. What was that look for? Your face was just like... Was that... Alright, sorry.
They can't see you, but I can
Fine.
see.
I'll do this again.
I didn't say that. I still have to be, though.
Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, I guess that's episode 34.
34.
Audio podcast. Not a softcast. This was supposed to be a softcast, but it's about an hour almost.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, whoops. How dare you take up airspace. But anyway, yeah. Episode 34. Featuring Jessica Moore.
Bye.
Give a round of applause to the beautiful queen in the room.
I love you.
I love you. You need to be on more, babe.
Thanks for having me.
It's kind of your podcast.
It's also-
I spoke about it in the last podcast.
It's also my bed.
It's also your bed as well. That's true. But also, I spoke in the last podcast and I said, Jessica and I started this podcast.
I was about to say it's our podcast.
Did you listen to it?
You said featuring Jessica Moore. I'm like, it's our podcast.
Yeah, I know. But did you listen to the
Yes.
Did you listen to the last
Yes,
episode
I
where I was okay? Well, anyway, episode 34, Body Language Podcast. Thank you guys for coming. Like and subscribe. If you have, thank you. If you haven't, well then, fuck you. What are you doing?
Share and show your friends. Don't be rude.
Yeah, share and show your friends. If you don't like it, no big deal. Just click onto another video beneath this one. But yeah, we'll see you guys for Dan and Bailey's group podcast January 3rd. It'll be a Sunday, so it'll probably... Between January 3rd and January 7th, look for episode 35.
Love you.
We'll see you guys soon. Peace.